I'm going to be commentating my little Draven run here. And basically for this run we need to get 1,000 adoration stacks. You get a stack for catching an axe, and then you get 6 stacks if you get 6 minions in a row. There's a little cooldown on that, so you kind of have to like, you can't really do like, oh, if there's 7 minions, that one carries over to the next. That's not the case. Like it's a fairly short cooldown. So I'm doing this at double speed because this is a fairly long run to get to 1,000 adoration stacks. And plus it'll make my mechanics look a little better too. Basically for this run, I did 3 runs where they're all stacks runs. They're all world record. I made a video about it. You should definitely check out that video. But basically this one was actually kind of like hard to get. Like, I don't know if it was the most interesting because ultimately it's just like, what I found was the most important thing was just you can't miss minions. You can't miss minions, you can't miss axe catches, because getting those packs of 6 at the end, it really stacks up. So I started out just like, you know, tanking the minions, and now I'm going to do some waves normally. My goal is to just keep catching axes, make sure I last hit every single minion, get those extra 6 whenever I get, you know, 6 minions in a row. I don't know, it took me like a fair number of attempts on this run. Like, my main strategy for this was, okay, you know, first tank some up when you can, then get some items to get more attack speed, because like the attack speed will allow you to catch more axes, but it's like, there's kind of a cap, unless you're really good. Like, if this run was crazy competitive and everybody was just like, it was just like completely capped strategy, you can do 3 axes at once. It's really hard, and it's like, that'd be really tricky to be able to do 3 axes at once. I'm not even sure how much it would help, but it would definitely save you some time. You have to not miss any, and like, you can't, the moment you catch all 3 and don't have one in the air, like it's over. So that would have been really tricky to do. But my main goal is just get some money, make sure I'm keeping axes in the air. With my current damage, it really like isn't a big deal where I can just constantly be killing one minion, kill the next minion, like the waves. And then, like, I don't really need to use jungle monsters, is my point. Like, if you kill them too fast, then you have to start kind of like going to jungle monsters, using multiple waves. But early on, oh, I missed one. That's not good. Early on, it can like not be very good. I've done like, I don't know, a fair number of these runs. This is my best run. This does give me world record by about, I don't know, what, 30 seconds to a minute. I mean, I was surprised because when I saw this world record was like 22 minutes long, I was like, no way, you can do it way faster. But I mean, my first run was, I almost tied exactly the world record. My first run I did, and it was just like, and I thought it was really good too. Like, my first run that was good, I mean. So it's like, it's really not, like, this is actually kind of a tough one, because even missing a couple axes can, I don't know, you can lose 20 seconds every time you do that, because you don't just gain like, it's pretty linear how you get stacks, so even missing a few axes is like a huge deal. I think here's where I first used the strategy. No. Oh, look at me. Smashing these down. You know, I will say doing this round is a little therapeutic, just catching axes. Just focus on that. Okay, so this is the strategy where it's like, I can see that it's ticking down my 6 in a row, so I wait a second, so then I can chain it with this next wave. I think that's what saved me the most time this run. There are definitely some mistakes. There are a few axes I didn't catch, which is a big deal, because then you lose like 6 or 7 stacks from that. And when you're talking about 1,000, every 6 or 7 matters a lot. Since it ruins your streak, you don't get the 6 pack. I think I'm starting to get where I can do jungle monsters, but basically the point is that I get this attack speed boots and I get lifesteal, so that way I can just tank it up. When I'm tanking it up, I always get the last hit. I get the most damage possible on the minions, so it's like, it's really good. Oh, there I actually dropped my axes. I don't know how, because I think I was sitting there watching the cooldown and like trying to do it like last second, but I guess I just waited a little too long. So that's 2. I guess I had 2 big mess ups That time I think I was a little safer, because it's like it's in close. There, whether I can actually get the 6. Start taking it back. You know, I figured I'd do some commentary on these just in case anybody watches this, you know, ridiculous, like, in the very back speedrun. And it's like, first of all, you can always watch at normal speed, put it on half speed, and then also, you know, if you don't like the commentary, you could just stop. You just mute me. That's fine. Yeah, so you saw I did a couple hits on the Gromp. It's just like each axe catches a stack, so getting some stacks from that is good. Now my damage is high enough to where it's like worth it. You know, I'm curious because it's hard to know whether damage is better, because you definitely want to get the 6 in rows. That's really important. Or if you should just go for, like, I don't know, more attack speed, like you just only take 1 level on the Q, so you don't do as much damage, and then you can just like sit on 1 minion like this. Like when you hit a bigger monster, it's like you can get a bunch of axe catches on that 1 monster. Long term, I still want to do 1 back, so I think what I want is I want to get Unleashed Teleport, which happens at 14 minutes, and get some more lifesteal items. Oh jeez, see, like sometimes it's like that. I don't even blame myself. That axe was so far away. Like I feel like I always try to direct it, and sometimes it just doesn't work. I definitely want to go top. Top's a lot better than mid, since you can actually kind of be in between the turrets. So mid was kind of just like a stop, you know, try to get a 6-pack, and then go top where I can actually like start tanking again like last time. I think top's nice because you have the Krugs, and there's like a lot of Krugs. They don't give you the bonus, like the 6 minion bonus, but I mean there's so many, you just get like a bunch of axe catches. The other 2 runs I did were the Garen stacks and the Dark Harvest stacks. Yeah, so this one was a lot more competitive, where I think I beat it by like 30 seconds. The Dark Harvest stacks, I beat it by 35 minutes. Like, it wasn't really like that competitive, I would say. I think I used it. I think I used the strategy that, like, you know, is the good strategy. Also, you cannot die. Early on when I first was doing this run, I just like a few times just, you know, tanked until I died, because I'm like, oh, you know, it'll recall me. You lose 75% of your stacks. And so if the run is getting 1,000 stacks, losing 75% of them, you're probably not going to get the record on that. But yeah, so I got the Draven one, I got the Garen one. Garen one and the Dark Harvest stacks, I think both those are way more interesting than this one. Those are my preference. And regardless of if you check those out, you should definitely check out my video on these 3. You know, that's where I'm more comfortable. Like I'm not off the cuff like I am now. I'm very new to just talking. I figure at this point, we're 17 minutes in, like 90% chance, like you've probably skipped through this part, you know? Like I'm probably literally talking to like 3 people max. I'm talking like my friends here. Like who's gonna sit here and watch the 17-minute mark of this run where I'm just catching axes, you know what I mean? So it's like people might watch the end part, or might watch, like, you know, the beginning part to like kind of hear the basic strategy, but like once you see what's going on, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, everyone's probably skipped through. So if you are here, wow, you know, you're special. This is like exclusive. This is probably like a one-on-one chat effectively. It's like I'm sending you a message. Pretty cool. So I'm pushing mid. I don't know, like, if it's best to get the turret or not. Like, the turret was already getting pretty low just from the minions. And I figure at mid, I kind of have the option of going Raptors. I have the option of going Wolves. I can also go to this blue buff here. Oh, I didn't miss one on the blue buff. Switch it to Gromp. But then I think big picture is if I can push both these turrets, I'm hoping that I have, like, an inside track to get both the bottom lane and the mid lane. I kind of think, like, Yeah, and I'm like panicking now because I'm like, I really don't have these timings down, and since it's such a long run, it's like it's not going to be the same every run. Like you can't get the timings down perfectly. I mean, you know when, like what the timing is because the minions are always on the same intervals, but like trying to figure out when to push a turret and stuff is a lot harder. So now this is my final part. This is like where I see is like the best part is where I can get 2 waves of minions, or at least some of 2 waves of minions. This way I can have no downtime. I've got pretty high attack speed and good lifesteal where I can easily tank to. Oh, I got a message from my friend who's seeing me in a custom game. Like, what are you doing? Yep. You know, just playing Draven in a custom game. What else would I be doing? Just getting a world record. Oh, look at that.